Hey guys, Max2015, welcome back to our Q&A episode for our 1000 subscriber special. First of all, thank you so much for supporting the channel all these last 5 months since I started it. I can't believe we've already made it. We're actually at 1037 subscribers as I'm recording this right now. So, super excited, very thankful, and very glad that you guys are all here, doing this journey with me. So I always said that I was going to make a Q&A if we ever made it to 1,000. So we're finally here and we're going to get right on because a lot of you guys have really good questions. So I kind of grouped them up in kind of sections or topics so that all the questions were kind of related to each other. So the first one here is going to be resource bases. So Allah Awad is asking for your Q&A video. My question is, why don't you attack resource bases? They get VPs, have a nice vacation. George Smith is asking, why don't you clear your hammermans based on your map? Zeta3051, when will you take the resource bases? Phantom Lord, hey, was just wondering, why don't you take those low-level resource bases? Not for the extra resource, but for the extra VP. All great questions, and the whole point of that is part of my personal strategy in this push that I'm doing. So, as you guys know, all the resource bases give you 1 victory point, and the hammerman base gives you 5 victory points. So I've kind of counted them before. I don't know what the exact number is right now, but if I take all of my resource bases plus the hammerman base that's on my map, if I take them all at one time, I'm gonna have I think about 35 victory points jump. So I'm saving that for the very end of my push. So if I ever make it to I don't know, I don't want to say something stupid, but if I make it to global top 10, for example, and then 30 victory points can be the difference between being number 10 and number 9, or maybe even number 8. So I'm gonna do that at the very end of my push so I can just have a big leap of victory point at the end. So that's just part of my strategy, and that's the reason why I don't bother with my resource bases at this point. Next category, let's see, where can we go? Power powder. So let's see, Roca 1969-3. Man, what's with these numbers? Question for your Q&A. How much power powder and proto parts did you have when you started your push? Thanks, and keep on booming. So power powder, that's a little secret. You guys all know that. Let's just get that out of the questions right now. Power powder, why am I keeping it a secret? Well, I think this is just a personal belief that if your opponents don't know how much power powder you have, or power powder I have, then they don't know how much longer I can keep on pushing. So therefore they won't focus and gang up on me. Does that make sense to you guys? Maybe not. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it's just my personal thoughts. So I feel like if everyone outside knew that I have 400 power powder left, then they'll be like, okay, so Max can only push for another month and then that's it. But then if people knew that I have 10,000 power powder left, then they'll be like, okay, back off because he can boost up forever. So that's why I haven't said exactly how much, although there have been some leaks out there because of my own carelessness. But anyhow, and as far as prototype parts, I think I had just over 400 parts of everything when I started my push. You can probably see that in episode 1 of this channel, so you can go backtrack and take a look at that. Alexis Moranfer asks, why do you hide your power powder every time? Well, same reason that I mentioned before, it's so that people don't know for how much longer I can push. The same question for Nitin Katri. Max, why do you have your power powder every time? Peter Poor, hey, how many power powder do you have and how much have you spent on Boom Beach? So same thing, power powder, still a secret, although I will tell you guys the grand total number of power powder and shards and crystals and all that stuff that I have when I started the push. So I will tell you guys once I'm done with the actual push. As far as he's asking how much have I spent, if you're referring to money, a lot. Andres Angel is asking, what is a good amount of power powder to have in order to start a push for my local leaderboard? So Andres, I don't know what your local leaderboard starts at. If it's 1,000 victory points, then you don't even need power powder. Just by playing normally, you can get to 1,000. If your local leaderboard is let's say 1,200, 13, or 1,400, in my case, in the US, the top spot on the local leaderboard is 1,750, something like that, then you need a lot more. So what's a good amount of power powder? That really depends on how high you want to push. If you want to make it to just the bottom of your local leaderboard, I'm going to guesstimate 200 power powder will be more than enough. If you want to make it to the top of your leaderboard, maybe 400 or 500. If you want to make it to global, maybe 400 or 500. If you want to, I personally made it to global number 20 with about 700 or 800 power powder, something like that. I haven't really kept a close count, but just about it, those numbers, I suppose. And then FOTS 7, how many power do you have prepared before starting the VP push? How much do you have now? Both of them, a little secret for now. Next category, diamonds. When do you start playing Boom Beach? I think it was, Matt 714025. When did I start playing Boom Beach? I think it was February 2015. Ryan Hall is asking, how much money have you spent on diamonds so far in your push? What do you do for a job? So how much money? Like I said, a lot. I've lost count, honestly. I have no idea how much I've spent exactly, but I'm going to just tell you it's been a lot. I buy diamonds pretty much every day, every other day, basically. And it's going to be in the thousands and thousands, unfortunately. But yes. And then he asked, what do I do for a job, right? Oh, man, I lost the question. And then he asked, what do you do for your job? So my college degree is a registered nurse. I'm a nurse, basically. My current job title is nurse manager for an emergency department in Brooklyn, New York. So I am the manager for an emergency room. That's basically what I do. I make sure that the nurses are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I have to mitigate issues. I make their schedule, and I have to do other issue-related things like patient satisfaction, performance, and all that stuff. So, I have quite a bit of responsibilities at work. Totally different person when I'm at work from when I'm at home here playing for you guys. Gills Jr. is asking, nice video, have finally Wi-Fi to watch. I'm glad you did. My question is, what amount of diamonds do you use every day for your playing? It really depends on a daily basis. When I have easy bases or when I have really tough bases. So when I have a really bad, rough night, I will spend about 7,000 to 9,000 diamonds. And when I have a really good night, I'll spend 1,000 to 2,000 only. So I guess a good average is about 4,000. I think that's just about average. 4,000 diamonds every night. Seta 3051. How you hide your wife about the diamond spending? I don't. She just doesn't ask me. My credit card is linked to my iPad. I just purchase diamonds with my fingerprint every time, and there's no amount shown. So she doesn't know, she doesn't ask, and I don't tell. So that's how we keep it just right. Fat7. Do you buy diamonds regularly? Is that required to get into Global Top 50? I do buy diamonds regularly, like I said, almost every other day. Do you need diamonds to get into the Global Top 50? Not necessarily. I don't think you do. But there's a few factors that would be involved. If you want to make it to Global Top 50 for free, you first have to have a lot of power powder. I mean, a lot. So much that you can boost every single time you want to take down one base. That's how much power powder you have to have. And then you have to have a lot of time to play through the day. I use diamonds because I only play one time a day, and I only have 3 hours on my boost session to play it. So because I have other responsibilities like work, home, and wife, I can't just play all day long. So that's why I need to use diamonds. But if you have all of those, if you're a single guy with a lot of time, a lot of money, go for it. You can probably do it. Let me know how that goes, by the way. Supply chests. Tume5. He said, why don't you claim your supply chest? Nutty Gaming 14. Why don't you collect the supply chest? It gives intel and shards. I do collect them every single time. It's just that sometimes while I'm playing, I don't collect them because sometimes I need to see how my gameplay goes. If I'm, struggling and I have no gold, then I have to collect the gold from supply chest. If I can take down all the bases on my map, then and I don't need the gold, then I'll take the shard. So it really depends on what I need. That's why I leave them there until I'm done playing, and then I'll collect. But I do collect my supply chest every single time. All right, next category. So general gaming. G-Mashers Gaming Channel. He's asking, how about the Q&A? What are your best troop combos? My best troops, I would say probably RZCM 3311 ratio and Heavy Zuga, because those are the only ones I can use for pushing right now. Amadowski Anaya. Hey Max, do you know why top 1 global makes 56 days only and then get low? Why they have max of 56 days. So at 56 days on the top one spot, you get the crown. You get the crown chest, not crown chest, I'm sorry. You get the crown badge on your name, which is pretty awesome. I think the next, the second crown that you will get is about 90 something days, which is insanity. No one's going to be pushing for, 6 months on the number one spot. It's just so time consuming, so powder consuming, and incredibly expensive. So just, people make it to 56 days just to get their crown, and then that's it. They're probably fed up with it. And I can totally empathize with them, because pushing for that long is actually a nightmare. I can't wait to be done with my own push, honestly. I'm just tired of it too. Sol Rakotos, good job, man. How do you keep an active such a long attack log? Mine holds 9, maybe 10. That's a great question, actually. I stumbled upon that by mistake, really, because I was also noticing that sometimes your attack log can only show the top 10 attacks, and then sometimes I would have like 40 of them. So how did I get there? The secret is do not log off your game. If you just play, if you keep on attacking, then your log will get longer and longer, and you can see, at least on iOS, I play on an iPad. I don't know about other devices, but on iOS, that's what happens. But the second you close your game or you log off and log back in, you'll lose all of it, and you'll only have the top 10 remaining. So if you want to have a long attack log, just don't log off your game. That's why I record right after I'm playing or during play, so I can keep the long attack log to show you guys. Dave Smith, when do you think you need to get ice statues over magma ones? Anytime, really. It's your game. You play any way you want it. If you want to put ice statues at 100 VP, you can do that. If you want to go with no statues during a VP push, you can also do that. So there's no right or wrong in here. It's just whenever you want to do it. I put my first ice statues at 1019 victory points, which is the day that I started pushing. Putting ice doesn't mean that you have to boost it. It's just putting them out there. So I didn't start boosting until like 1100 or something like that. Villinger 3. Question on statues. For all offensive layout, what would you recommend as a cool all-rounder? For an all-offensive layout, I don't know. Maybe 3 troop damage, 4 GBE, and 3 troop health? I don't know. I've never gone full offense, but if I had that kind of lineup, I think I'd be unstoppable. Okay. He's preparing for a local leaderboard push, which starts at 950, and he's currently at around 600 victory points, planning to go all out. So, at what time will deploying ice statues be a smart thing to do? If you want to just put masterpieces out, I'd say maybe 800 victory points, because you can push up to like 12 or 1300 without any ice, but you just have to work really hard for it. If you want things to be a little more chill for you, then do it about 800. Put down the ice masterpieces only. And then when you see that people are rating you more and more and you're struggling, then you can start putting guardians or start boosting them. How much power powder do you estimate I should have stashed for at least, let's say, 1400 VP push? I'm gonna guess that's 1400, not 400. So if you want to push to 1400 victory points, I think 400 or 500 power powder will be more than enough. Way more than enough. Roughly how much time will it take you per day altogether? If you want to play the same way I did, like I said, I only play one time a day, and it's just one offensive boost session. So 3 hours a day, every single day. I do take breaks though. If you skip pushing for 1 or 2 days, you'll still climb, trust me. So there's no need to be like obsessed about it. Let's see. Jack 18. Did most top players use statue glitches, which have already been closed to get perfect masterpieces, basically? I have iOS, and airplane mode doesn't make this goal to reroll anymore. I don't know, Jack. When I started playing, I don't think I've ever heard of this. I've never heard of any re-rolling statues. I know the statues are kind of preset, which is why you can do the statue peeking thing with airplane mode, but that's just to see what you're getting next. It doesn't mean that you can change what percentage of statue you're getting, so I'm not really sure. There's an anonymous question here. It's asking, do you think it is possible to reach top 1 through 5? Oh, Rika wants to come up. Come on, Rika. There she is. She's just gonna sit with us right there. Hi, Rika. Say hi. There she is, my girl. Do you think it's possible to reach 1 through 5 with a 5 offensive, 5 defensive statues? Because Zarwood, a friend of mine, and Hajin, another good pal, reached top 10 with those statues. Where is the top limit? I don't know. Again, I've never been as high up as global number 10, so I can't tell you what will work up there or not. From what I've seen on my personal experience, every global number 1 always has 7 ice and 3 offensive statues. However, a few people that I actually played with, Kinetic and PH Alliance, they both did it with 6-4. So they both had 6 defensive statues and 4 offensive statues. So I guess 6-4 is probably the least you can do as far as ice statues go. How often does a 7 boosted ice with best layout get rated? I don't know. I've never had 7 ice statues myself. 6 is the most I've ever had. But you know what? I'm gonna guess that the extra statue won't make too much of a difference. So with 6 boosted ice, I get rated about, when it's a lot, 5 times a day, and when it's not a lot, 0 times a day, which is the best time when you don't get rated at all. And it does happen, once in a while. But usually it's about 1 to 3 raids per day, even with 6 boosted ice and double shields. Master Rivera, he's asking, what do you think about warriors? Do you think that they are too OP? A little bit. I mean, they do need a lot of offensive statues, though. Actually, maybe not too much. I do like Boom Beach because it's so well balanced. No troop is above the other. It all depends on how you control your statues. So, which is what I like, and that's what kind of personalizes the game for every player. So warriors are really strong. Yes, I agree. They're super OP. I've had warrior players destroy my base with 6 boosted ice and double shields. They'll smoke to one shield, take it down, smoke all the way to the other shield, take that one down, smoke all the way to the HQ, and then blast it down. So yes, warriors can actually wreck a lot, but they need a lot of gunboat energy and troop damage to back them up. I personally, I don't use warriors for PvP attacks right now because I only have 1 masterpiece GBE, and that's just not enough. Rika, I'm trying to talk here. Why are you making that noise? Huh? Why are you making that noise? All right, next category. What's your wife telling about this game? Actually, not much. Thank God she's being fairly supportive, but she just lets me play. She doesn't complain about it. She doesn't, we've had rough patches when, she does say that I play a little too much, but she's very understanding. God bless her soul. And she knows that I'm doing this right now for this push, which is all time consuming. But she knows that once we're done with this push, then we'll be good, and then I'll have more time, to do other things, so she won't be so upset sometimes. But she's been really good so far. Cobra's Playhouse, are you gonna put this question in the Q&A? If so, why? So yeah, I'll put it in the Q&A. And why? Because I said you can ask me anything, so if you're asking me, then I'll put it up here. Leo Coach, good friend of mine, he's asking, how long are you planning on keeping YouTube videos after the push? I haven't really thought about that, but I think I'll keep the channel going. I do have a whole bunch of ideas for what to do with the channel, like low-level Let's Play, more tutorials, maybe events, anything you guys want to watch. So as long as people are willing to watch, I'll keep on making content. Mine TV is asking, are you planning to make YouTube a full-time job in the future? I'm not planning on it. Have I thought about it? Sure. But with 1,000 subscribers, which is a very, very modest amount of subscribers, it wouldn't be enough to even make a penny out of YouTube. So I don't think so for now. This is, like I've said before, just something that I do for fun, and I wanted to just share with you guys. So, if the opportunity presents in the future where I can potentially make a living out of YouTube, sure, playing games for a living, who wouldn't want that? But right now, I do have a good job that, pays a really good salary, so I'm not about ready to give that up. But yeah, I would think about it. George Smith, what is your native language and which other do you speak? So I was born in South America, so I speak Spanish fluently, but my family is Chinese from Hong Kong, so I speak Cantonese fluently. However, I am a US citizen and I went to school in the US, so I also speak English. What's interesting is I do know how to write and read hiragana and katakana, which is Japanese, and the same thing for Hangul. I can read and write it, even though I don't speak Japanese or Korean. But I do enjoy writing those. What's your profession? Like I've said before, I am a nurse manager right now at an emergency department. Justin Paul is asking, what is your favorite troop combo to attack with? Not necessarily to push with, just to have fun wrecking bases. To to have fun with, I think Warriors are pretty fun and TGRM are just the most enjoyable. When those Grenadiers just chunk and wreck the whole base, love it. Non-Boom Beach question, what type of work do you do? Like I said before, I'm a nurse manager at an emergency department. Lucas Makaravicius. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, Lucas. Hey Max, I have been watching you from 1.4 VP, I think 1400 VPs, haven't missed your videos. How old are you? I'm 32 years old. Have you got a wife? Yes, I do. Kids? No, we don't have kids yet, but I'll let you in a little secret, guys. My wife is currently 4 months pregnant, so we're super excited. We're expecting a baby girl in May of next year, so I can't wait for that. Just enough time for me to stop pushing and then fully focus on the baby girl. Can you make a vlog about your house and how it looks from outside? Yes, actually, I'll show you guys around, but I'm not gonna, we're in New York City and it's like 35 degrees outside, or what is it, like 7 degrees Celsius. So it's pretty cold outside. So I don't want to go outside and take pictures of the house, but I'll give you guys a tour of the apartment. Alright guys, so this is what my house looks like. I'm going to give you guys a very quick tour. It's a small apartment, so there really is not much to see. I know that green background, my dad thought it was a good idea to paint it. I actually really hate it, and we'll probably get it painted sometime in the future, but just for right now, I'm just leaving it. I'm just kind of lazy. So I'm just gonna flip the camera and give you guys a quick tour so you guys can take a look, okay guys? Alright, so I think this is a good spot to start our little tour. This is where I record and play all of my Boom Beach videos. This is my iMac, which I got from my wife as a Christmas gift a year ago, and I bought this white table from IKEA just for the purpose of putting it here and making YouTube videos. So I spent about 40 bucks on this table, something like that. It wasn't that expensive. Something that you guys may not have known about me, guys, is I'm a huge geek about comic books and toys, and so I always have my friend Soundwave sitting here. He's pretty awesome. I got him from Hong Kong a couple of years ago, and that's a comic book, sort of like a poster book that I got from a friend of mine. So that's where I play and record all of my Boom Beach videos, in case you guys are wondering. Those are the two windows where the lighting comes from for me. That's where I put my computer there, and that's where I can see if it's raining or snowing outside. I have pictures here of my first dog. She's no longer with me. Her name was Muffin. But those are all her pictures from her time when she was here with me, and I miss her every day. My other dog is right here. That's Rika. She's kind of shy now. You guys may have seen her kind of, photobombing the video sometimes. Hey Rika, that's her right there. So this is the living room, regular TV, 55-inch. Got it from Best Buy on the couch. But a bunch of DVDs, my PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, I don't know if you guys can kind of catch that. There's a couple more windows right by the TV. Where else can we go? So this is the kitchen, guys. Pretty standard home kitchen. I don't think there's anything too outrageous to see here. So I'm not gonna spend too much time in here. I'm filming with a selfie stick, so it's my first time doing it. I never really do any video vlogs. So anyways, right now I am making a, what do you call it? A gorgonzola sandwich on a croissant. If you've never heard of it, you should go ahead and watch Fresh Prince, because it's pretty awesome. It's such a great episode that I used to watch back then. And I have been making the sandwich for years now, so go ahead and give it a try. It's actually pretty good. It's basically a blue cheese sandwich and a croissant with Dijon mustard. But it's good. Just give it a try. Other than that, typical sink, my Nespresso machine in there. You guys have seen me sip on it a few times. What else? We have a regular stove, a fridge, and well, I guess the cool thing about the fridge is we get magnets from every place that we have traveled to. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot now, but we have little things from, let me see if I can zoom in, from Disneyland, California, Korea, Hong Kong, Mexico, Georgia, Jamaica, Malaysia, and other places. Oop, there it is. Sandwich is ready, so I'm gonna go ahead, have that, and we'll keep on moving around the house. Alright guys, so this is the game room, or hobby room if you will. It's a tiny room. I'm trying to see if I can get you guys a 360 view here, and the lighting doesn't help much from those windows, but essentially what I do here, and it's something I never mentioned in any of my videos, is I am a huge toy fan. So I want to just show you some of my favorite toys. I built a lot of these models. These are called Gundam models. Hopefully you've heard of them, because if not, I don't really want to be friends with you anymore. I have tons of Gundams. I have all these boxes up there which I have not built. I have more boxes down here. I have more boxes over here on the floor. What else? I have, oh, that's a Porsche GT3 RS Lego that my wife got me for my birthday this year. Haven't had the chance to open it yet. I have a lot of Legos. I've also been into Lego recently, and you guys may have seen some of these guys feature in some of our videos. Like, there's some of the guys from the Justice League. I have yet to complete all of the important guys. I have people from the Big Bang Theory down there. If you guys have never checked that out, you guys really should. The Big Bang Theory is super funny. I love it. They talk a lot about comic books. More pictures about my first dog, Muffin, my little palm, and I have a autographed picture of Roger Federer. I'm a huge fan. If you haven't noticed it just yet, you know, guys from Switzerland, I know there's a few of you guys. Roger Federer, good pal of mine. No, not really. I did meet him one time in the US Open, which was pretty awesome, but it's not like we're bros, you know. But he did sign that autograph, that picture for me. I have some more models over here. Maybe you guys can see them. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan also, if you haven't noticed. I have a lot more Dragon Balls in here, including a Bruce Lee. These are called SH figure art toys. So they're super postable. They're pretty awesome. Mainly collectibles. I haven't opened any of these. These are all brand new in their boxes still. Hopefully the value will go up sometime soon. These are more Gundam that I have built in the past. There's one more over there. There's a little closet over here with some coats. And yeah, oh, right under there on my table, I don't know if you can see right where my finger is, there's more gun boxes in there. So I have tons of these little guys in here. They take me about anywhere from a week to a couple of months to build each time. Mainly because I have to detail them. Look, there's so many more over here. Yeah, I know, I'm a total dork. I admit it, I'm not ashamed of it. Alright, so that's the game room. So let's move on. It's enough for us, and we can move on with the Q&A. So, Butler Bonarosa, he's asking, what do you think of Sergeant Sam? He's pretty badass, isn't he? Yes, Sergeant Sam is pretty badass. He's a good friend of mine also. Well, we connected through this channel, and he invited me over to his task force in Schweiz, which I'm still in right now. And thanks to him, you know, I've gotten to meet a lot of other Swiss players, and that's something that I'm very thankful for in this channel, is that something I never expected, which was, you know, to open the doors for me to meet people from all around the world, and it's been really amazing so far. Sergey Chapman, what is your favorite meat? So I'm a steak guy because I live in the US, love steak. In fact, I just had steak. I just had a New York strip for lunch, literally just now. I just made it myself. But my favorite steak, I'm gonna say ribeye, a fillet, which in the US we call it tenderloin, and I guess Kobe beef, right? If you never had Kobe beef, you need to have it. I had the luxury of having Kobe beef in Japan, in Kobe, a few years back, so that was amazing. What would people hear if they could read your mind? If you could read my mind right now, you'd be thinking Boom Beach, YouTube, my dog, and cars. That's all I think about, and my wife. Do you like red panties? If they're like this, yes, I do. If not, do you play Clash of Clans? Yes, I do play Clash Royale every day, actually. When I'm not playing Boom Beach, I play Clash Royale. And how do I like it out of 10? Maybe like an 8 out of 10. It is fun. It's totally free, which is great. You don't need to spend diamonds to play. The only thing about Clash Royale is that, first of all, I suck at it. Second of all, every time I lose, I get so angry. Last night, I wanted to break my iPad. That's how bad. I was in like a 7-loss streak, so super upset. But, you know, like all things, once you turn it off and move on, then it's just there. It's just nothing. So yeah, I do play Clash Royale. Do I play Clash Royale? Clash of Clans. Yes, I also play Clash of Clans. I'm a Town Hall 9, almost max. But I kind of stopped playing since I started the push. I wanted to focus on just one Supercell game at a time. So once I'm done with this Boom Beach push, I'll get back to playing Clash of Clans casually. So many clack 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 sounds, right? 3 Offense Boom Beach. Congrats on 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for being part of it. And where are his questions? So, how much Boom Beach affects your personal life? I mean, you may have a good day or a bad one. Do you forget totally what happened last night while playing, or is it just buzzing inside your head? How much does Boom Beach affect my personal life? It's not too bad, really. Like I said, I only play 3 hours a day, and I play late at night, as you guys have, seen by some of my videos. So it doesn't really affect my personal life much. I do have good days, but when I have bad days, and when you're pushing, they're mostly bad days, it is pretty, it hits you pretty hard mentally and just mentally. But you kind of just have to move on the next day. And yeah, actually, now that you're asking, no, I don't stress over a loss from last night. I usually just wait and refresh the base. So yeah, it's not too bad. What do you do in your personal life? I mean, your job. So like I said before, I'm a nurse manager for an emergency room. And for my personal life, well, I do anything any guy my age would do. So I like cars, I like, movies, food, video games, and I have a crap ton of toys in there, as you have seen already. And one final one, do you process all your videos and photo thumbnails all by yourself, or someone else helps you do that? How much time do you spend on a video after you finish your recording? Actually, that's a great question. I do all of my recording and editing by myself, including the thumbnails. How much time does it take me? Not that much time. When I started making the channel and I wasn't familiar with recording and Photoshop and softwares and microphones, then yeah, it took me a while to start figuring it out. But now that I've been doing it for, pretty much every single day, I've been recording and playing. Once you get used to it, I can record a video. It takes about 15-20 minutes, depending on the length of the video. And then editing it only takes like 5 to 10 minutes. And then making the thumbnail is, you have to think about what you want to do in the thumbnail, take the picture, Photoshop it, and put the letters and all the other stuff. So that takes about 15 to 30 minutes. So about an hour, I would guess, is what it usually takes me to make a video. After I'm done recording, it takes about 40 minutes or so. All right, guys, so I think that was the last question. If I didn't get to your personal question, I am so sorry. Just ask me again. There were so many of them that I don't know if I could get through all of them, and this video is going to be pretty long, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it, guys. But until then, hopefully you guys learned a little bit about me. Hopefully you guys will keep on watching the channel, and I'll see you guys next time, guys. I'm Maximum15. See you in the next push. Bye.